Hey guys, with the recent success of X-Men 97, there has been a lot of questions about what this means for the animated Spider-Man series from the 90s, with one of the loudest ones being whether it'll be renewed, perhaps a Spider-Man 98 show. So, for those of you who haven't watched the Spider-Man series yet, I thought I'd do a non-spoiler review on the show to try and convince those of you who haven't seen it to give it a shot, as I promise you it is amazing. And I mean, it is actually really amazing. Now, if you ask me if it is better than the X-Men, the animated series, the original one, well, it's a bit of a hard one, but honestly, if I did have to rank them, they'd be really close on my ranking, and that's just how good it is. So, for anyone who hasn't watched the X-Men animated series, do watch it and check out our review on it and other content we've done on the show and X-Men 97. But this video will be my non-spoiler review on Spider-Man the animated series, running for 5 seasons from 1994 to 1998. Before I get started, please like and subscribe and comment down below with your thoughts on the series, which one you preferred, whether the X-Men or the Spider-Man animated series, which one was better? Would you want to see Spider-Man 98? Let us know down below. So, to be honest, I'm not one of the people who watched this or any of the other Marvel shows in the 90s. I mean, I wasn't even alive in the 90s, so it was a bit hard for that. But anyway, I'm quite late to them all, and I've only started watching them a few years ago, and that's where I fell in love with X-Men the animated series. And after watching that and absolutely just loving it, I heard about this show, Spider-Man the animated series, and I was like, you know what? X-Men one was really good. Why not give this one a try? And my God, I was honestly pleasantly surprised. I mean, at first I was really surprised with how good the X-Men show was because I was really bored with the Fox adaptation of the X-Men characters and the storylines that they did. I know some people loved them, I didn't. I found them really boring. And then going into the Spider-Man show and seeing that there is so much more to Spider-Man, especially with all of the recent Sony issues. Anyway, that's my background into how I got interested into watching the Spider-Man animated series. So, what did I enjoy? One of the things I enjoyed was that there were so many cameos. You name a character, and they probably appeared in the show. You've got X-Men appearing, you've got Avengers appearing. There's so many characters appearing, like characters I didn't even realize that you wouldn't really think would be linked into this, but it was really amazing. And it also they didn't just throw it in like, oh yeah, a fun little moment for this character to appear. No, it wasn't like that. Like they actually made it make sense for those characters to appear, and they were part of that overarching storyline as well. Like, it just wasn't like a appear once, that's it. Like, it made sense. I think perhaps one of the biggest things I liked was that there were so many different villains portrayed in the show. I think you've probably see in the show, you've probably seen like probably 90% of all the Spidey villains there. I mean, I'm not too sure about the comics and stuff, but they had a lot of villains, and especially when you think about the movies that we've been seeing from the MCU, and then the Amazing Spider-Man, and then the original Spider-Man trilogy, like there is just so many more villains that they can discover, and this one really shows it. To be honest, I was scared. I was scarred. Not scared. I guess I was scared as well. I was scarred after watching Morbius. But this show portrays characters like Morbius and Kraven, at least comparing it to the trailer, which doesn't look really good in my opinion. But anyway, they are portrayed very differently and it makes them more enjoyable. Like, I had such high hopes for Morbius, like loads of people did, and I know some people enjoyed it. I sadly am one of the people that didn't enjoy it. So, yeah, I guess, the biggest reason is because they didn't have Spider-Man in the show. Oh, sorry, Spider-Man in their movies. But, I think why this is such a success is that these characters actually grew on their own, and they also had like they didn't just pop up out of nowhere or something. Like they actually built up the characters well, and it wasn't like a once appear, once done sort of thing. Like some of the characters are, but actually, hmm. I can only think about one. I'm not gonna say who it is, but yeah. Another thing was that we've always heard about the Sinister Six and just other team ups. I mean, that was what No Way Home was originally gonna be, and it was just great getting to see how these villains team up with other villains, and yeah, just seeing that as well. Like it isn't just one villain acting out, and like I said, backstories really there. They really explained it and also made it like some of these characters you feel really bad for as well. Like I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler, but like the Lizard and Morbius, like you see a different side to them, and Venom as well. Like, there's so much more to them than, how they're always just portrayed as a villain. I mean, I know that the movies also, especially No Way Home, portrayed that as well. But that's what I really liked as well, because a villain doesn't have to just be a villain. Like we also need to see how they got there, like what they want and all that kind of stuff. I think personally for me, my favorite villain there were tons of them, but I think it'd have to be Kingpin because he is the Kingpin. I mean, I absolutely love the Daredevil show, and I can't wait to see Daredevil Born Again if that's what they will end up still calling it. I don't know, but I just really enjoyed Kingpin in here. Like he was like in every little detail. Like you'd not think he'd be in that and in this, but he was everywhere. And yeah, so the villains actually really made that show. Like it really made it stand out to me. And actually, on a side note, loads of people love the X-Men theme song, the from the animated series. And the theme song for this is actually really good as well. It's I wouldn't say it's better than the X-Men one, but it is really catchy. Uh Catchy. I don't know if catchy is the right word, but it's really good. But anyway, that's just yeah, it's just a minor thing. Another great thing I like about the show is that it doesn't just focus on Spidey. Like we don't just see Spider-Man for like most of the show, but it also has a key focus on Peter as well. And we really get to see the struggles they both have because they're both like two different identities and it's not straightforward, like Peter wants to, I don't know, date MJ and Felicia Hardy and stuff, and Spider-Man wants to like protect people and also, just he wants to be neighborhood Spider-Man, right? Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So the stories the show tells and how it impacts both of them, but also other characters as well, is truly amazing the way they've done that. Like they haven't just made it so it just stands out as being, Spider-Man only. I mean, saying that, like none of the movies that we've seen have done that. But I feel like we really got to see a really good, like, deeper look into Peter's life and how, he sometimes has to struggle and, like he doesn't get his way all the time. And, it does make me think of the original like Tobey Maguire moment, like in Spider-Man 2, where he's battling between, MJ or being Spider-Man. He has to make that decision. And then the struggle of after the consequences of after making that decision as well. So yeah, I mean, this show really does, enhance that and actually like, show that really well. Another thing I really enjoyed were the side characters too. I know this is a Spider-Man show and it's supposed to be about the villains and Spidey, but but the side characters like JJ Jameson, who we already absolutely love just from the original trilogy, and Robbie, who both work at the Bugle, MJ, Flash, and Deborah, who's Flash's girlfriend, they also have a chance to shine in this show and share the spotlight. Like it's not all just about Spidey. Like we also get to see how people that Peter knows are impacted by these villains and stuff, and it really just it builds it together. And it also makes Peter's life harder because he has to try and save them, but he also it's just a big struggle for him. I think that's one of the reasons why loads of people love Spider-Man is that we really do get to see this struggle that he has with being the secret identity, but also wanting to, have a life of his own. In terms of the animation, I know loads of people will probably get put off by the animation. I mean, it's animation has come a long way. It's not what people are used to seeing now. But honestly, personally, I didn't actually mind it. I didn't even like, like go, oh yeah, look, that animation looks rubbish. Like I didn't actually think about it. I think just going into it, like after watching the X-Men animated series, I mean, even then, like, you know, some of the animation, like through the later seasons, did drop. But yeah, I mean, if you are bothered by it, I mean, I think the story and the characters will be more than enough to convince you that the show is worth watching and it is actually amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna circle back to what I said at the beginning. Which one is better? And I think I'm gonna answer it. Is it Spider-Man the animated series or X-Men the animated series? And I'm not including X-Men 97 because that seems like a bit like cheating. But I think personally for me, I mean, I do prefer X-Men the animated series. I think I do like that team up and stuff. I'm not saying that Spider-Man didn't team up, but there is definitely a different feel and like different, like it's a bit more. I mean, they're two different like characters, but you got one character and you've got like a group of like X-Men. Like it's quite a bit difficult. But yeah, but just saying that, like that doesn't mean that the Spider-Man show wasn't good. Like I said, like it's really close. Like they honestly had such good portrayals of characters, great storylines, great villains. So yeah, honestly, if you haven't watched Spider-Man the animated series, you should, because especially ahead of X-Men 97, I don't want to say too much because in case you haven't watched that or but anyway, you should definitely, it's definitely worth watching. But yeah, that ends my review today on Spider-Man, the animated series from the 90s. I hope you enjoyed my review and I was able to convince you to watch the show or maybe even rewatch it if it has been ages. I might actually rewatch it. But I've been doing that for X-Men, the animated series as well, so it's no different. But yeah, please do like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our content. Drop a comment down below with your thoughts on the series. Is it better than X-Men, the animated series? What's good about it? What's bad about it? Would you like to see a revival? Would you not? And anything else? Just really keen to hear from you guys, so just drop us a comment down below. And to stay up to date with our content as well, check out our website for other videos we've done, such as Who's the Best Spider-Man, Toby, Andrew, or Tom Holland. Perhaps it's quite obvious which one I picked, maybe throughout this video, because referenced them quite a bit. But anyway, and we've done loads of other things as well, including non-Marvel stuff as well, but we've got good range of content out there, so do check that out. And you can also check us out on Twitter and Instagram. And that's it for today. So see you guys next time. Bye.